What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video your girl is here to bring you guys another 3 looks 1 palette. It is going to be with my Midas Cosmetics Unveiled palette. It is a pretty cool toned palette with like a very small splash of warm tones, and yeah, I wasn't supposed to buy this, but I did like a clown. So let's go ahead and do my 3 looks, and then at the very end I will be reviewing this baby for you. Alrighty guys, so we are just gonna go diving right in, and we're gonna start off with my first look. And these shades don't have names, so I'm just gonna point to them, and I'm gonna go into like the warm, cool tone kind of mustard shade, and this is going to be my transition shade. So transition shade acquired. Next I'm going to take a tighter blending brush. This is my Smith 230. My other brush that I used before was my Morphe M535. And I'm going to go into the kind of the warmer of the 3 browns. And this is going to just be put right into my crease. So it's going to be lower down. So we're still going to keep that transition shade visible. So that transition shade is still going to be visible, and now we're just going to deepen out my crease with this brown shade. Very simple, nothing crazy going on, because there's nothing crazy in this palette. Then I'm going to take an even smaller brush, and this happens to be a Morphe M507, and I'm going to go into the black and deepen out my outer V even more. With this shade, I do recommend taking your time very slowly. This is actually a very nicely pigmented black, and just blacks in general, I just always recommend you taking your time so that you ensure that it doesn't go crazier than you really want it to. And I also always recommend just using a really nicely small brush as well. If you find that you blended the black up just a little bit and you might have lost your brown, feel free to just go back in with that brush that you had the brown on, just to blend out the black, and it'll also help bring the brown back a little bit. While I'm here, I'm just going to do my lower lash line very quickly. Just dip back into the black very lightly on the tip of this M505 brush, I believe. And we're just going to go right against my lower lash line. I'm of course connecting up above, as I always do. Then, just to add kind of a layer, I am going to go into, sorry, had to itch. Then I'm going to go into the brown that I used. I'm just going to blend that lower lash line a little bit. Alrighty guys, so this is the finished look. I'm sorry if I just cut out. I had a lot going on in the background and I didn't know how long it was gonna take. So on my lid is this middle silvery pewter shade, and then on my inner corner is this lighter of the two shimmer browns. Like I said, this is the finished look. Everything is on my face is pretty much Project Pan except for 2 items. I am testing out my Auric Glow Lust, and I have this in the shade Axonite, and then I also have my powder blush from Chantecille in Laughter on my cheeks. Everything else is normal. That's all I want to say. I'll leave all my thoughts for the end when I will be giving you guys my review, because I have 2 more looks that I really want to do with this palette. So let's get to the second look. Alrighty guys, so I'm here to bring you guys look number 2. I'm really excited, so let's just go ahead and dive right in. I am going to, of course, prime with my MAC paint pot in the shade Groundwork. I'm just going to slowly build this product on my eye and blend it out the edges, and just make sure I have as even as a coat as possible all on my lid. Okay, now it's time to play with the eyeshadow palette. And first shade I'm going to go into is this brown down here. And this is going to be my transition shade. I'm not going to put a thick layer of product on. I just want to put enough that my shades will blend on top of it, but also still have enough stickiness from the primer that they can adhere as well. I always forget to say, this brush was my Royal & Nickel Omnia BOM 44 large crease. Now I'm going to go into a small Sigma brush. This is the Sigma E27, and I am going to go into the I'm going to go into the dark brown shade. And what I'm going to do is pack this on all over my lid first. And then we're going to slowly blend this up into the crease. It doesn't really matter if that crease color, it disappears. To be quite frank, you really can't see it. So there's no big deal, but you do want a nice blend, and you want to make sure that it really goes from the lower to your lash line all the way up. Then what I'm going to do is take my BK Beauty 207 brush and go into the black. And I'm going to start very, very slowly at my lash line. And I'm just going to start by packing this black on along the entire lash line. And I'm packing her on to try and make the pigmentation the same depth all over that lower lash line. Then I'm just going to blend this out. And it's not going to get too high in the grand scheme of things. And we're just going to keep following this process until we get the black blended into that brown the way I want, and then also as high as I want. After I kind of get the black somewhat near my normal or natural crease, that's when I'm going to go back into the brown brush just to slightly blend her up and just blend this into the brown. I don't want the black to get too high and too kind of large and in charge. So that's why I'm going to go back into that brown brush. Alrighty guys, so this is the finished look. And really quickly, I just wanted to give you guys my product details. I have every last lip product from my project pan on my lips today. Only other thing that is kind of different is my blush today is actually this baby right here, and this is from my Juvia's Place Zulu palette. So that's it. Everything else is normal. I will have it all in the description. Let's get to look number 3. Alrighty guys, so I'm here to give you guys my final look when it comes to this 3 Looks 1 palette. I've already primed my eye and we're going to go into my favorite shade, which is the grungy yellow. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do something slightly different. I'm going to actually pack this in my crease. I'm doing this because I want this to be a lot more kind of noticeable. I don't want this to blend away, and in case that is something that you are finding is happening with you, if you actually pack the shadow onto the area that you really want it to be visible, you're bound to get more pigmentation, and it's just going to be more evident in your final look. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm just going to lightly blend the outer edge with the same brush. Very quick on that step. Then I'm going to take a smaller blending brush and I'm going to go into the darkest warm brown, or honestly the darkest brown in this palette, and this is going to be my outer V shade. I am just going to take the time to, of course, pack it on my outer V, but also just to slowly blend this into my crease. Now what I'm doing is just taking the time to blend so that everything comes together. And always feel free to just go back into an old brush if you feel you need to. Okay, so that's that. Now for cutting my lid today, I'm actually going to use my MAC paint pot, and I'm using it because I'm actually going to be putting a matte shade on my lid, and I find when I use my NYX glitter glue that it doesn't work. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my lid again with my MAC paint pot in the shade Groundwork, and then I will be right back. Alrighty, so lid is cut. Now I'm going to go into the peachy pinky matte shade, and I'm going to try to make sure I use the right side of my brush. And we're just going to pick up a good amount of product and we're just going to pack it right on top. The goal in this aspect of this eye look is to make sure that you really get an even layer of this shade all over that paint pot, and that there's no creasing, so that you don't have any creasing when you open up your eye or close your eye for that matter. Is that a car? Whatever. Helicopter. Okay. It's like, that's a really loud car. Okay, so I hope you guys don't hear the helicopter, but if you do, my bizzles. We're just going to go ahead and go into that dark brown again, and this is going to be my lower lash line shade. And then we're going to take that same fluffy brush and that same nice grungy orangey yellow shade. Blend her out. Connect up top as always. Last step, taking a pencil brush, and we're going to go into this lighter browny metallic, and this is going to be my inner corner highlight. Alrighty, eye look is done. I just need to add my waterline, which I put in there Magic Mint from LA Girl, and then I'm gonna put on my Monsieur Big mascara, and then I'll be right back to show you guys my finished look and to give you guys my final thoughts when it comes to the Midas Cosmetics Unveiled palette. Alrighty guys, so this is the finished look. Alrighty, so like I said, this is the finished look, and I really actually enjoy this look. I don't tend to do a lot of like matte on the lid looks, but I must say this look came out well. And overall, I'm pretty sure 99% I've tried all the shades. If I haven't, it would be just this metallic or this shimmer that I haven't tried. And yeah, my opinion is sound. I've had the same opinion since the very first look. And this is a good palette. This is a solid palette, solid formula. Is this the best formula I've tried? No, it's not. Is this the worst formula I've tried? No, it's not. It is a solid formula. What I will say is the mattes are really, really nice. They're very blendable. They pretty much blend themselves, so you don't have to stress over that in case you are somebody who finds you don't really blend shades in your crease that the best. I will say these mattes really blend themselves beautifully. The shimmers though, I don't find to be very shimmery. I find them, or metallic, I find them to be straight up shimmers, very similar to the 50/50 makeup shimmer formulation. So if that's something where you like a metallic formula, this you ain't gonna get it here, sis. You not. But because this is more of a neutral and kind of subtle color scheme, I think they may have meant to do it that way. I haven't really watched too many reviews when it comes to Midas Cosmetics. It's just not been a brand that I've watched a lot because a lot of the stuff I have not been interested in. But I was really interested in this palette after I saw what is her name, Teresa Is Dead. I saw her have this on her eyes and I was like, I need this now. And it was because of this shade right here. You guys knew, as soon as you saw this palette, this was going to be the shade that I was going to be attracted to. I am very much attracted to that shade. And I am honestly just very much attracted to this palette in general. I think this is a really easy, like, one and done palette for people who need one palette to use to go to work or whatever it is. I think this is just a really solid palette, and so far a really solid formulation from Midas Cosmetics. This is my very first palette that I've tried. I do have, where is it? I do have the Artistry palette actually right here, and I will be working on getting my opinions on this one right after I finish, but I wanted to go ahead and finish up my opinions on this baby. That's pretty much kind of on my overall thoughts. I feel like there was something, oh yeah, in the ingredients, I did want to mention, I generally don't do ingredients like information, but this is important. I feel like there is mica, there is talc, there is mineral oil. So those are the three ingredients I feel like people really need to know about. Just skimming very, very quickly. And I will say that you only get the ingredients on the sleeve. So if that is something that you need to know, or you're just very invested in knowing that, do keep that in mind. And also, yeah, so keep that in mind because you're not going to get that information on the back of the actual palette. Other than that, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I mean, I think it's a decent palette. I like it. Is it like a ride or die? No, but I am happy I have this in my collection. I don't have very many neutral palettes, let alone neutral palettes that are cool toned, and this one caught my eye, so I'm glad I picked her up. And that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, y'all, Black lives do matter. Please remember to wear a mask and stay safe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.